Hello everybody, and this is Samatari, and welcome back to Guild Wars Part 25, and we are jumping right into this mission, which is Nolani Academy. Now, the thing is I'm doing something a little bit different this time, where I'm actually recording my voice over something that I played, because the first recording I did of this really fucking sucked. I was tired, and my roommate was in the other room, and she was sleeping, and yeah, I really just do not do well with these things. So anyways, so this is a mixture of actually two different videos. The first one that I recorded lagged really, really bad. And so what I did is I went ahead and I replayed the mission, which is crazy. So I do want to explain something. Every time I go into a mission, I'm always like, oh shit, I hate this mission, blah, 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 blah. But I've started to learn that what I used to think was hard about 5 years ago, I no longer think is very hard because I've had time, I've played it so many times, and honestly, I have a better understanding of characters, like their powers, like their skill set, and everything else. Now, granted, while Arcosphere does not have the greatest skill set, because I really just don't know much about necromancers, and some people have told me that my powers are not the greatest on the planet, I have very limited skills right now being in Ascalon, so that's one thing. But honestly, I feel pretty comfortable with his build as it is right now. I feel like he's actually doing pretty well for himself, already being level 13, because he'll get to level 13 because I played this mission twice and gained the extra experience. So anyways, Nolani Academy. This is the last mission for Ascalon before we head into the next section of the game, which is really super exciting, but it's sad at the same time because we'll be leaving familiar territory. Funny thing about this mission is the first time I played it, I was complaining about how, you know, on the original recording, the voice recording, I was complaining how, you know, this mission sucked, and I hated it, and I died so many times, and we were probably gonna die a billion times, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, I was also talking about how this mission took me like an hour and a half. And the funny thing is you're looking at this video now and you're going, but Sam, this video is only about 30 minutes long. And the thing is, this mission, the first time I played it, it took me an hour and 30 minutes when I first started Guild Wars. The second time that I've played this, which is the first recording of this, it literally took me 32 minutes, almost 33, to beat this mission. And the second time, which is the time I'm playing now, I was voxing my friend at the same time that I was playing this, so I end up getting turned around somewhere. I think I actually end up getting turned around here, or I end up going backwards, and I end up going all the way back to the beginning point. But even after fucking up and going right back to the beginning point, I literally beat this mission in fucking 26 minutes. I actually think this is where I got turned around, because I'm like, oh, there's enemies here! So we're going the right way! Am I gonna keep going this way? No? Okay, so I don't get turned around here. I ended up getting turned around somewhere. I don't know. I don't fucking know where. I get turned around somewhere. And I end up going back to the beginning, because I remember I was voxing my friend, and I was telling her, oh yeah, this mission, and I was so impressed with myself for having beat it in 32 minutes, but I was complaining how bad it lagged, and how I had to replay it, and I was really angry about replaying it because I was scared it was going to take me more time. Wow, Arcus literally stood there and did nothing. I was probably boxing. Oh god, it's so funny, like, watching myself play this and not having commentary already there, so I'm adding commentary, already knowing what's happening. But anyways, it was a really funny thing, really. This might be where I got turned around, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna stop guessing. But anyways, so basically what's happening here is, you know, I told her how I'd only beat it in 32 minutes, and I didn't think that was, you know, I thought that was amazing because of how long it took us, and I remember playing this mission with her and helping her run through it, and she died about 1,000,000 times, so she knows how it is when it comes to Nolani Academy, and she's like, oh shit. So anyways, I should go over the goals of this mission because I didn't really show you. So basically in the mission, we have to sneak out the back of the temple. Now the thing is there is a lever at the beginning of the mission, and if you press that lever, it'll open the front gates, Charr will pour in, and everybody will get murdered. And that's because there's an elite standing out there, and there's a group of about 20-30 Charr. Now, at the level that you're at right now, with the groups that you have and no heroes, you honestly have no chance against them, like none whatsoever. And the prince will die instantly, which is a failure to the mission the minute you begin. And, so yeah. So the key is to not press the lever at the beginning. You have to go around the back, go all the way to Rin. Once you make it all the way to Rin, you have to go down the slope in Rin, and then you have to kill the Charr along the way. Kill most of the Charr out front. Once you kill the elite, the gates will open automatically, and the prince will come out, kill any of the remaining Charr. And the bonus, I believe, is if you go up, you grab the scepter mages, the flaming scepter mages, up top at Nolani, and if you bring them with you to the final goal, either that or if it's you kill like all the Charr at Rin, I think, before the prince dies or something. But the prince is not supposed to die in this mission. He cannot. So yeah, so you see I got turned around here, and I'm like, oh shit, gotta go back. But yeah, so basically, since I have the chance to explain it to you again, yeah, I had to look at my fucking map. I was like, how did I get turned around? Am I really back here? Oh, so funny. Okay, so yeah, so basically as you just saw, you have to leave through a back door, and the thing is when I was playing this mission for the first time, I didn't know that you had to leave out the back. So playing this mission with my Mesmer character back when I first started over 5 years ago, like, I didn't know that you had to go out the back way. It just said, go to Rin, do this, clear the Charr. It basically says clear the Charr out front. So I was opening the gate thinking that the Charr were going to come in and we could somehow beat them. And I even remember going and leveling up deliberately thinking that maybe I was just too weak and there was something I was forgetting to do. So, I mean, it's really my fault because I wasn't really paying attention, but finally I noted that there was a door leading out back, and then I was like, aha, I see what's going on. Another thing that really confused me about this mission is there's going to be this part when you come to Rin, and I'll make sure to point it out when I get there. But when you get to Rin, there's this broken wall. Now, if you've already seen from the playthrough, or you should have seen from the playthrough, that basically your character can't jump. He cannot jump, and he can't run over most crazy terrains. Like, if the terrain gets really crazy and really bumpy, he can't walk over jagged rocks or do anything like that. Your character movements are pretty much set to a path. And, like, occasionally you can glitch and maybe make it over something, but usually you can only get to a certain point. I mean, hell, my Mesmer gets stuck on plants, you know? Like, you're gonna get stuck on a lot of shit in this game. So, we're coming up to Rin here soon. And basically what's coming out of this is that there's this part where the wall's broken, and you actually have to climb down the wall. But the thing is the terrain doesn't look like something that you can normally climb down. So naturally, when I first played this mission, I was looking at the wall, and I was like, where's the staircase? How am I supposed to get down? Because the arrow was showing me where I needed to go, but at the same time, and I knew that I had to get down on that path, but I didn't know how to do it. So I figured there was some other way. So I'm sitting there running along this path I'm running around now on my Mesmer for a good, like, 30, probably 20 minutes trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do before I accidentally went down into the wall and managed to, managed to actually do that. Like, get down that wall. I think in this episode I have a key. Maybe? I don't remember if I have a key or not. I think I have an Ascalonian key. Do I? Yeah, I can. I can use my key. And I ended up getting something really fucking stupid. Something I didn't really need. I don't even remember what I got. It's been that long. Was it a purple item? It was a purple item. Interesting. Oh, he's about to level up. I'm so proud of him. So yeah, so we're already level 13. We only have 7 more levels until we are max level. So I was talking to a friend of mine, I'll call him Gladius, but obviously his name is not Gladius. So I was talking to my friend Gladius, which is one of my gamer pals from middle school, and the thing is when I was in middle school and high school, my friends and I, we were all in this group where we basically all played the same games. Like, if one of us was playing Final Fantasy X, the rest of us were playing Final Fantasy X. And so on and so forth. And that's actually how I got introduced to Guild Wars, because my first Guild Wars account was actually part of an ex-boyfriend's account, where he let me make a character and play on his account because he was never on. Then, and at the time, he didn't know that you couldn't play on one character and then have someone else log in and play on another character. And when we found that out, that pretty much made my character obsolete, and I chose not to play the game on that account anymore. So actually, the first Airse was an Elementalist Necromancer, which I honored by making Emelisa, which is a Necromancer Elementalist, because I hate being an Elementalist as a main character. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. Okay, see how I walked down that wall? Normally, if you look at terrain like that, you cannot walk down terrain like that. So it's really, really weird that you can do that in this game, and I got stuck for so long, automatically in the mindset of, oh my god, that's weird terrain, I can't walk down that. And now our goal is to walk around and kill the Charr at the main gate so that the prince can go through, and then we're going to have to backtrack all the way back to this place, lead him up to Rin, and that's where the second half of this mission takes place. So it's a lot of running back and forth, so that's why this mission probably took me so long way back when. But like I said, so my first Airsa was actually a elementalist necromancer named Element Gold, and she was just literally Element and Gold, and because you have to have the first and last name. At least I think. Actually, no, she was still Airsa Mitsuhide, I think. Fuck if I know. And so anyways, what happened was, I was playing on her character for a while, and I had just made it to post-Siren. So basically I had my friend Dylan, who was a necromancer elementalist, and then I had my friend Cameron, who played a necromancer something. They both played necromancers. But they basically, while Cameron couldn't play because I was using his account, Dylan basically rushed me through pre-searing. And, yeah, so he rushed me through pre-searing, and I was into post-searing before I was, like, level 5. Honestly, I was probably only level 5, if that. And I think I explained it in my video for post-searing, but honestly, you need to stay in pre-searing as long as possible and do as many quests as possible, because honestly, if you're not at a good level when you enter post-searing, it's really going to kick your ass. So yeah, so he kind of rushed me through that, and it kind of ruined the experience for me a little. So I dropped Guild Wars for the longest time, thinking it was too hard for me to beat, and I didn't feel like it, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah. And then I eventually got my own account, because I saw that it was on sale at a GameStop when I was in high school, and I decided, oh my god, I played this in middle school, might as well pick it up again. So I was like, that's pretty cool. And then I've been addicted to it ever since. And I ended up getting the pack with all 3 games. Actually, I bought the Game of the Year edition first, then I bought the pack with all 3 games. Okay, so I want to show you something here. So the bottom screen is currently, or actually the bottom screen's currently us. The top screen is showing a blue elite, while the bottom screen is showing a green elite. And the reason why this is happening is because elites are randomized per game. So I'm sorry for the random split screen there, but I thought it was really interesting because I remember playing this game and or this mission the first time, and I ran into the blue elite, and the blue elite means that this person is a monk, and that means he has healing powers. And I felt like that was a huge disadvantage because when elites are monks, they're not only more powerful than most monks, but they're monks in general, which means everything that's attacking you cannot really be killed because the elite, as a monk, will be healing them the whole fucking time. And it's awful. And we leveled up, which is really awesome. Okay, so now the prince is free, and he's gonna come out and he's gonna be like, okay, you know, bring the flaming scepter mages, it's time for them to come home. I don't know whether you can go up and grab them and say, hey, follow me. You might be able to, but the thing is I never do because I really you have to be quick about this. There's the prince right now. The thing is the prince moves on his own. He's running off without you, and he cannot die in this mission, or you will automatically fail this mission. So the key is even though you can go get the mages, generally it's almost pretty impossible because the prince himself goes after every enemy, every little thing he tries to kill it, and it will try and kill him, and he really cannot hold his own for very long if there's a massive group of people. So unless you have some speed skill which can allow you to catch up to him really fucking fast, it's best just to leave the mages behind if you can grab them. So I'm sorry you can't see the bonus objective of this mission, but I really just don't feel like doing it. Okay, so about the elite thing. Elites are randomized per everything. Yeah, lead the prince to Rin, blah 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 blah. So anyways, elites are randomized. So on the first time I played this, where it was like really super laggy, like basically that's what happened, is that it was really super laggy. We had a monk elite, and while he wasn't too hard to beat, at the same time he was still a pain in the ass because they're my least favorite. Second time we played through, we actually ended up with a ranger elite, which those aren't too bad except for the troll engines. Granted, you don't really have to worry about the things that you're fighting right now. It's not until you get into post-game that enemies start using resurrection signets and shit, and they can basically rebuild their numbers. So, So like I said, a lot of backtracking, which means we're going to go to the broken wall, we're going to climb up it, it's going to start a cinematic. But not only are the elites, not only are they randomized, but also, unless they're like a main character that can't be randomized, but also you'll notice shields and armor, or not shields, shields and weapons are also randomized. Go ahead and watch this. Another split screen coming up. Sorry, it's out of sync, but yeah. Okay, so bottom screen. Actually, I think top screen's us this time.
Open this door. You will let us through. But
actually, no, bottom screen's still us.
If the door was opened.
And I swear death.
If you don't stand aside this insult.
Damn.
Yes, my prince.
The poor guy. So if you notice, the one guy, his shield basically stays the same. Actually, I think they're random.
Ascalon against another
But the prince's things.
And my father trifles with doors. You'll speak to the king, won't you? You'll tell him I had no choice.
Okay, so anyways, if you noticed about the one guy, I think his shield stayed the same, the door guy, but his weapon's different.
Bonfaaz's beard. Ring burn. I told the king that Charr would not be held for long. We must get to Hornhill. Only Stormcaller can save the city now.
Okay. So anyways, so as you can see, the prince's shield changed. There will be one more split screen where I show the king, because the king also has a changed shield. There was a time when I was first playing this, the square shields. The first time I played this, the tower shields, as they're called, both the king and the prince had tower shields. So I really thought nothing of it. The second time I played this, the king ends up with a random buckler, and the prince has what's known as a skull shield. So the thing is I'm starting to lag a little bit in this area. I think this mission in general, the thing is I lagged in the last one, but I lagged like severely. But the thing is, this mission in general, you will find that it lags. The thing is I play this game, I play Guild Wars 1 at the highest level of like awesomeness ever. So the best graphics, the best sound, I put everything on 100% awesome because my computer can handle it. Now, the last time I played this, though, it didn't work out so well, but this mission in general, while other missions do lag, especially if my laptop is hot, this mission always lags. It doesn't matter. My computer can be completely cool, and can still be cool while I'm running the mission, and nothing else has lagged up to this point, but this mission just lags. And I think it's because it's the first area in the game, other than the Flame Temple Corridor, which also lags, where you have such a mass amount of enemies, especially the fact that there are three. There are three different cinematics in this mission, which means there's three different movie parts where you have to listen to it, you have all these elites, and everything else. So this is an elite that did not change. He still stays a warrior, but that's because he's an elementalist, or he's one of those walking rock thingies, and I don't think he can change. Another elite that does not change in this level is Bonfaaz Burntfur. Now, if you remember Bonfaaz Burntfur, he is actually from the first mission that we ran at the wall, and he was the one that we had to spy on to see if his forces were there, and we ended up having to retreat. So yeah, Bonfaaz Burntfur is the main enemy, and once you kill him, the mission ends. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Stormcaller, which supposedly is this awesome weapon that'll help us defeat the Charr, but really all it does is cause a rainstorm, and yeah, it puts out their shrines, which lessens their power, but I still don't get the point of why it's so awesome. I think, honestly, getting Stormcaller is a waste of time, as we never use it again, and never really see it again. But that's just my opinion, and sorry for the spoilers. Blow that horn. Just do it.
Praise be to Duena if this works.
Well, go ahead and try. Ooh, that noise, though. See, and it starts to rain, everything's dramatic, the Charr stop killing people long enough to look around and go, what the fuck is this? Oh shit, let's run around and yell and be crazy. And we're angry because now we're wet. And we're cats and we don't like it. Okay, so another reason why this mission might lag is probably because of the rain and the fact that there's a weather change, which usually doesn't happen. So this mission has a lot of different things going on. So now we have gotten Stormcaller. Now this is another part where I kept dying, because the thing is I thought that the prince would stay up where the horn is, or I thought he would stop running his own path long enough for me to take my own path, where I could go and kill anything I wanted willy-nilly. But the thing is the prince does not run, or let you run your own path. And as you see, he has gone and just started killing his own things and doing his own things, which means I have to run after him. Because the thing is during all the other missions that you've played with the prince runs his own path for a while, but then he eventually falls behind you and you have to lead. This is the first mission where he is in total control of himself. You have to follow him because there are all these Charr running around, as you can tell by all the red dots, and he will get himself killed big time. So, also sorry if this video quality is not as good as my other videos. The thing is, I was messing with a lot of sizes. I was really trying to do a lot of cool editing. I wanted to show you the different elites. I wanted to show you a lot of different things. So as you can see, we have Flaming Scepter Mages here, and the thing is, I don't know if saving all of them is the bonus objective, or if grabbing the mages at the beginning is the bonus. I've never gotten the bonus, so I wouldn't know. So Bonfaaz Burntfur is literally right up here. So once you clear out those Charr at the front gate, like, you're pretty much golden for the rest of the time on this particular mission, because it's very short, and it's mostly just cinematics. So already we're going to be attacking Bonfaaz Burntfur, and once we beat him, the mission is complete. Doesn't matter if he has other people around him or not, you beat him, and it's completely over. And he is about to die here now. And boom. And the thing is, you don't get to see the sword plunge into the shield because I already beat it once. So you're not seeing the big thing where it plunges in there and it's like, oh, 3,000 experience. And I don't know what's with the shaking of the camera. I don't know if this was intentional or not. I just feel like it was a waste of time.
Trumpets. The king must be near.
It's like
the fall of Rin will have darkened his
the king only shows up, and he shows up so formally. He only shows up after we've already done all the dirty work, and there's no Charr left. Warning, another split screen's coming up here soon.
Hail King Adalburn!
So here's where shit really starts to get dramatic. We've already had issues with Adalburn in the past because he refuses the help of the Crichtons, even though they really want to aid us to help us win this war. He is a very proud man, and honestly, it's really his downfall. It's his bad trait because he's very stubborn. Okay.
Rise, my son.
So the bottom screen is ours.
The discovery of Stormcaller is surely a sign of victory.
It is a powerful weapon, but I fear not powerful enough. The Charr have amassed an army of many thousands.
You overestimate these beasts, Rurik. Do not be
afraid. Even the guards in the back.
I am not afraid, Father. I have seen them in battle. Rin has
That was bad editing on my part.
It would be wise to escape while we can. We should make for Kryta and rebuild our strength. Not wait here for death.
I will never allow Ascalons to live in the shadow of the Crichtons. It is Rin that will be rebuilt. And you will learn your place.
You have grown proud, Adalburn of Ascalon. Proud and foolish.
You would dare call your king a fool? I will hear no more. I banish you from Ascalon. You are no longer my prince, and you are no longer my son.
Shit, I hate him so much. Seriously, dude.
People of Rin, your king will lead you to death. If you wish to see better days, if you wish to live, then leave the beasts behind and follow me over the Shiver Peaks. We make for Kryta and a new life, free of the Charr.
It's crazy. Like, the thing is, this is one of the cinematics where you really just don't participate. And this is actually from the first part that I was actually recording. I actually had to mesh the two videos. So, sorry about the long double screens. I'm probably never going to do it again. I just thought it was really fascinating. So anyways, after you beat the mission, you end up in Yak Spend. And the Yak Spend is actually the first part of the Shiver Peaks, which is, I think it has like 4 or 5 missions that you have to run. There are a lot of things to do in Yak Spend. Like, there are so many missions, and as you can see, or as you will see when I pull up my mission thing, like, we really have no missions anymore. There are none that we left behind in Ascalon. Obviously, there are some places that we didn't visit, and there's dwarves now, because the dwarves live in the Shiver Peaks. Now, the Shiver Peaks, we will visit the Shiver Peaks a lot. Granted, we will be here while we're doing this mission, or the missions while we try and head into Kryda, because we're obviously now following the prince, because it's not said that we were banished specifically, but we follow the prince because you can tell he's obviously the smarter one, and he's obviously the one that cares about his people and cares about his country enough that he's willing to retreat to where he knows he can build his forces, and then they can fight for their home another day. He loves Ascalon, but he loves the people more, and I've said this so many times, and will continue saying it. So, you know, Adalbern is fucking crazy, and he's very proud, and as, you know, Prince Rurik said, he's practically foolish, because he's just willing to have his people die, rather than, you know, save them and have them rebuild their forces and be strategic. I was checking the armor here, because I remember the armor being stronger for a warrior than it was for anybody else, or like the armors being better while we're in the Shiver Peaks. But the thing is while checking them right now, it turns out that we actually have a really good armor, and it kind of frustrates me, because that means the last time I was here and I was buying armor for my necromancer, I basically just bought the armor because it was new, and I didn't so much look at the stats, which shows just how new I really am. So yeah, you can tell that my computer's, you know, lagging more on this, because this is from the first recording. But we do have a lot of missions that we can do. So we'll visit the Shiver Peaks now, and then we'll go into Kryda. Then after Kryda, there's a part in the Maguma jungle, which is still part of Kryda, but when I say Kryda, I mean areas like Lion's Arch. So we're going to go from here. This will have its own little section, then we'll have Kryda. Kryda will have its own little section, Maguma Jungle will have its own section, Crystal Desert will have its own section, then we'll have another brief period of Shiver Peaks before we head to the Fire Chain Islands or the Fire Ring Islands, and then the Fire Ring Islands are the final part. So we still have 5 big sections of this game until we reach the conclusion. Now, am I ever going to finish the Guild Wars playthrough? I really don't know, because I barely managed to beat the game in the first place. Honestly, and I don't really know, I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to beat it with this character or not, so it's kind of just a guessing game from here on out. But anyways, that's all I really have for this. We will go ahead and do the missions later in the next episode, and we'll just kind of take it bit by bit. This will take a few episodes. We beat Ascalon after 25, so I don't know. I don't know how long the Shiver Peaks will be. I'm betting at least 10. But, yeah. So anyways, go ahead and hit a like if you liked this video, and if you were super excited, well, I guess we have new henchmen too, that this came out, go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed it, a comment if I missed anything, and yeah. Honestly, like, if there's anything else that you want to see, or if there's anything that I might have missed, or if there's anything that you want me to do, feel free to tell me, because honestly, I will probably go back and do it. I was going to record the Traveler's, or the Wayfarer's Reverie, but I ended up not doing it, because the thing is the Wayfarer's Reverie is basically just a tour through Ascalon, and while I could do the tour through Ilona to show you what that's like, I plan on doing a separate video. Yeah, and I was showing you here when I opened the map that you can still access pieces of Ascalon, because like I said, you are not specifically banished, it's just the prince, which means you can still go back to all those places, and it's not like you're forbidden to go there or anything. But, yeah. So I was gonna access the Wayfarer's Reverie, and decided not to. Someone keeps emailing me. So that'll be a separate video where I kind of just talk about it, talk about the places that I've seen, and the things that I've done. And, yeah. I honestly really have nothing else to say, and, so I'm just kind of waiting for my outro video to pop up. This is so bad. It was such a bad idea to record over this, but I really have no choice. Because the recording was just too shit, and I couldn't leave it like that for you guys. I wanted to give this mission some energy. So we ended up beating it in 26 minutes, which is like an hour and 4 minutes better than what I used to play it at. So yeah. So, honestly, this is Samatari out. Eventually. And, okay, yeah. This is Samatari out, playing Guild Wars and whatnot, and I will see you guys in the next one. So, yeah, until then, ciao, you guys.